One of the consequences of Donald Trump's decision to put Indiana Governor Mike Pence on the national Republican ticket is it removed him from a race for re-election in the Hoosier state. And as correspondent Matt Finn tells us, that could mean the GOP loss of a significant seat.
Saturday, I'll go up to a parade in Fort Wayne.
Eric Holcomb, the Republican candidate for governor, is off to a late start. He had no plans to run, but when Governor Mike Pence said yes to being Donald Trump's running mate, Holcomb stepped to the plate.
Christopher, how you doing, buddy?
His opponent, John Gregg, is the former Speaker of the State House. His campaign has been years in the making and has $6 million cash on hand. But Holcomb likes his chances.
The state has momentum, and our campaign has momentum, so it plays to my favor.
That momentum, says Holcomb, comes from 12 years of Republican governors at the helm, $2.4 billion in reserves, and an unemployment rate below the national average.
We are the #1 manufacturing state in the country. That's what John Gregg doesn't want to talk about.
Gregg argues a Hoosier family of 4 makes about $8,000 less than the national average.
He's going to talk about low unemployment rate, but Hoosiers are working harder and harder and seeing less and less in their paycheck.
By leveraging the proceeds the state gained when it sold off parts of its toll roads, Gregg wants to pour $3.2 billion into infrastructure, small interest community bonds, and broadband access. And then Holcomb's not buying Gregg's idea.
Raid, borrow, tax. We've seen that movie before. I don't think the sequel would be any better.
We're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business.
The Republican Governors Association recently released this ad tying Gregg to Secretary Clinton and her controversial coal statements. Gregg notes his entire family has a history in the coal industry.
I find that attack just ludicrous.
The state's highly controversial Religious Restoration Act, passed last year by Governor Pence, is a flashpoint in the race to replace him. Holcomb stands by it.
We can protect our religious freedoms, and we can balance that and not accept any discrimination.
Gregg wants it repealed.
We didn't have any examples of religious persecution in Indiana. That was a solution in search of a problem.
And the nationwide uproar surrounding that controversial Religious Restoration Act here in Indiana is not going away anytime soon. Republicans stand by it. Meanwhile, the Democratic candidate John Gregg tells Fox he is religious, but does not think the act leads to any type of discrimination. Gregg will be meeting with concerned clergy this weekend, where he might have to defend his party's position. Chris?
Matt, thank you.